When you buy silver from the US Mint or from the Royal Mint, it's actually a little bit of a stealth tax. Now, of course, if you're buying silver from the Royal Mint, you're actually paying tax on it in the first place. But even those mints around the world that are tax-free at source, you're actually paying a stealth tax. You're putting money into that government coffer one way or another. So let's talk today about taxes on silver and gold and what it really means, what you can do to mitigate those tax burdens in a legal and safe way. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a warm welcome to you all joining me for another Precious Metal Ramble. So, it's everybody's favourite topic, tax and taxation. Oh, it's going to split opinions. There are a lot of people in this world that don't like taxes. I am a self-employed person, and personally, I quite like the ability to pay tax because it means that I'm actually earning enough money to pay tax in the first place, and that's a good thing when you're self-employed. Now, the merits of whether or not tax and taxation is good or bad is something that I don't really want to go into too much detail. Personally, I don't mind paying tax and being a member of society and having the services, certainly here in the United Kingdom, that we take somewhat for granted. But at the same time, there are a lot of people who want to try and lighten that tax burden, and sometimes the alternative is gold and silver for them. You hear a lot of rhetoric about taking money out of that fiat system and using your own resources to become your own bank and perhaps being able to avoid various taxes. Now, there's a fine line between legal tax avoidance and illegal tax avoidance. I think there's two phrases, isn't there? There's tax tax avoidance and tax mitigation or something. One route that you can take in the United Kingdom for tax legal sort of tax avoidance is capital gains tax exempt coins, like Royal Mint coins that have a pound denomination. So this is a £10 coin. It's capital gains tax exempt if you make a profit on it. But it's taxed at the start. It's taxed when you buy it, if you buy it directly from the Royal Mint. So it's kind of like a little bit of a false promise if you're buying these coins taxed at source when you buy them, but then capital gains tax free at the other end. It doesn't really make too much sense. So one of the other things that you can do to avoid that is not pay tax on your metals when you buy it in the first place, and that can be, of course, things like this bar from the Royal Mint. But this isn't capital gains tax exempt. So when you sell it at the other end, if you make a profit on it, you might be liable for taxes on it. So you see how they can get you. They can get you every time. Now, in the United Kingdom, it's worse for us generally because if you buy from a dealer, generally speaking, you're going to be paying sales tax, VAT on top of whatever you buy. Some dealers will have second-hand goods where you won't pay it, or you'll pay a small amount on what's called the margin scheme. But generally speaking, the only way to avoid taxation when buying silver and gold is to buy from either incredibly small businesses that aren't registered for VAT or have it on the second-hand market. And we do a lot of that with our sort of intermediary sales posts and sales that we do on various different bits of bullion. But even then, they're kind of like an enhanced price. You don't get spot price silver here in the United Kingdom because there is a general market view that silver cannot be bought at a lower price than X amount, which is generally spot plus 10 to 15%. So that's generally where the prices lie. Now, the secondary counter-argument to the whole, put your money out of gold and silver, and this is more sort of somewhat directed towards the American clientele that might watch this video, but the US Eagle, the humble US Eagle, the big old favoured US Eagle that so many people put their faith in and want to stack to the high heavens. Have you thought about this? The US Mint is making them, selling them. Maybe they're tax-free in the state that you're buying them from, whatever dealer that you're buying them from. But it's a stealth tax. And it's the same with any national mint in this world. And this is something that I think a lot of people just gloss over. It's a stealth tax. You are essentially giving money to the government. And it's really ironic and borderline hypocritical for some people to go and tout about how amazing it is to take their money out of the system when they're literally putting their cash back into the system and buying things like US Eagles. It is very funny. The whole point of government mints nowadays in this modern world, because we're in a world where coinage and physical currency is falling out of favour. There's a lot less of it in circulation than there used to be. And the purpose of the mints is to make money, make a profit. And certainly here in the United Kingdom, you'll know that the Royal Mint is most certainly one that is there to make a profit. Its primary function is not actually, to contrary belief, to just make currency for circulation. That's one of the duties that they have and that they do, but that's a money losing operation. They make up for it in the profits they make on other coins they mint for other countries. They don't just mint UK coinage, but they do a whole host of others, and also the commemorative and bullion versions that they make and sell. And that is a stealth tax. So even if you're buying tax-free gold directly from the Royal Mint like this, you are essentially being taxed as a citizen in this country. Now that is even more emphasized if you plan never to sell it. So if you're in this camp of, I will buy as much gold as I can, I will take all of my money out of that financial system and I will have it, I will enjoy it, and I will stack it, then you're basically taxing yourself. You're literally, and more so than you would be by doing income tax. If you're putting a whole ounce of gold into a product, or whole amounts of money's worth into an ounce of gold, you're going to be paying a lot of money to the government for nothing. You're getting something at the other end, and the idea is you make money on it. But if you're never going to sell it, you're not really doing anything with your money other than self-taxation in a way. It's a strange way of looking at it, and there is a subjective sort of argument here about it, but generally speaking, that's how I kind of view things. If you are looking to buy various different Royal Mint products or US Mint products, there is that stealth tax to think about. Now, there are a lot of products that are out there that are taxed at source, and platinum is another example of that. And if you are looking if you're really concerned about tax and taxation when it comes to these kind of things, you've got to understand that there is, I think, a culture within social media, on YouTube, that it's okay and it's fun and it's laughable to joke about not paying tax and not declaring the right profits and things. It's in my opinion, silly and stupid to just tout these stupid rhetorics out there going, I had an unfortunate boating accident and lost all of that gold, good old HMRC. Yes, I'm not going to pay any of my taxes due. It's childish, it's silly, and it's risky because people out there genuinely don't believe that they will not get in trouble for it. And, it could come back to bite you if you don't declare the correct taxes on things, or if you're playing a little bit coy with the law about importing stuff and having it not correctly labelled and so on. You can very much get in trouble. And I've known and have seen actions of that from sort of communications, various dealers that I've received saying that persons X, Y, and Z should not be traded with, as they are currently under arrest on bail pending VAT import fraud and various other things like that. So there are real world examples of that actually happens. I am in contact with a lot of dealers in the UK, and I've obviously got a duty of care to my own business when it comes to buying and selling other things. So definitely something to consider as a individual, as a seller, somebody who's got a vested interest in keeping, out of prison for these kind of tax frauds and things. So definitely worth thinking about. And that's, I think, where I shall sort of end this video and go into our little sort of conclusion and outro. So there is a stealth tax when you buy anything that's gold and silver directly from a mint. The best way to avoid that kind of thing is to just simply look to the secondary markets, whether that be on the Silver Forum, Facebook, if you dare. I mean, it's full of scammers on Facebook. There are good Facebook groups, but there are also a crap ton of scammers. I don't like Facebook. Anyway, or you can stick to sort of intermediary buying schemes like we do here, or buying secondhand from dealers. There are few and far between offers for those, however. So that's my thoughts on it. And I think there are genuinely a lot of people who don't really understand that gold and silver are not a get-rich-quick scheme, not a tax-free investment scheme. They have their connotations for every individual's personal financial circumstances, and it's worth having a look at those in detail. And I will finish this video by saying that if you are unsure based on your own financial circumstances, the surest fire way to get the best knowledge is to speak to an independent financial advisor or an accountant. It will cost money, but it should save you more money and hassle in the long run. Now, for those watching to the back end of the video, for my Backyard Bullion Ramblers, perhaps you are interested in seeing what these are about. These are our 1 3 and 5 ounce silver forum rounds, which we've just published this week. The 5 ounce rounds still need their hallmarks applying to them, but they are now available in pre-sale. If you are interested, then please head on over to the links in the description box below to the silver forum, where you can find out more about these, which help support our channel and of course the silver forum in general as well. So thank you very much to everybody for their kind and generous sponsorship of our channel. And if you would like to see more, then hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, that's it from me. We will see you on the next video. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.